Okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all with chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to them.
Hey everybody, good evening. It is great to be here with you tonight. My name's Natalie Kime, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit of information with you tonight. I'm hoping to touch on 3 things. 1, to make you feel like you're in a comfortable environment, hearing a little bit about the financial industry. 2, to maybe teach you a couple of financial concepts you're not aware of or elaborate on them for you. And number 3, share a little bit of information about our business and how we do what we do for those of you who might be interested in that. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to share my screen and jump into the presentation tonight. Let's see if I can do this right. And there we go. If for some reason the slides don't advance or something, I'm going to shrink you guys down. So somebody unmute and let me know if there's any issues. But okay, let's go ahead and get started. I am extremely honored to be able to spend some time with you tonight and share some information about a company that has completely and entirely changed my life. As I said, my name's Natalie Kime. I come from a corporate finance background, so I had a 20-year corporate career. I had a great career. I made great money. I loved what I did. But the truth of the matter is that I didn't have the freedom and flexibility I wanted in life in general, with my time, with my income. And I wanted to be able to help people every single day. I did a great job helping companies grow and earn more money. But when I came across this business about 3.5 years ago, I saw an opportunity to actually help everyday individuals like myself create wealth and protect their families in a way that I didn't know was possible. And so to share that information is very near and dear to my heart. A little bit more about me. I've been a single mom for 17 years. So I have a 21-year-old son who's currently serving in the Marine Corps overseas. I'm extremely proud of him. And in his senior year of high school, I was finally at the point where I came across this business and felt like as a single parent, I was in a position where I could kind of jump with a single income and take a chance to bet on myself. And I was able to do that part-time initially. And then just over a year ago, just over a year ago, I left my 20-year corporate career to step into financial services full-time. So hopefully I'll do some justice tonight in sharing this information with you. Please reach out to the person who invited you to be here tonight and thank them for the opportunity to come on here. You know, one of the #1 things we do is share financial education. We share concepts and tips and tricks about finances that we weren't taught in school. The education system today still doesn't do a sufficient job of teaching these concepts. And so just the opportunity to be here and learn a little bit more, I hope will make a difference for each one of you. And of course, any questions you have as we go through, if we have a couple minutes at the end, you know, or you can type them in the chat, or you can reach out to the person who invited you and ask them. They can give you all the information that you need to know about what we do and how you can set up time to talk with them further. So I want you guys to take a look at this slide here. If you'll notice in the background, this is an average neighborhood. You know, some of the houses have swimming pools. Some of them look like they're an average middle income home, maybe some homes that are a little bit fancier. But the thing I really want you to pay attention to is the little signs over each of the houses. They say things like can't retire, bad tax strategy, high debt, not saving, lost money, out of cash. Honestly, I think if you look around your own neighborhood, because we don't talk a lot about finances in and amongst ourselves, I grew up, with the concept or being taught by my parents, you don't ask somebody how much money they make. That's rude. You don't talk about finances with other people. You keep that, close to yourself, and you just don't share that with other people. And so I would bet, if you went around to your neighbors and they were actually willing to have this conversation with you, that this neighborhood would look just like yours, that most of the people that live around you, and maybe even yourself, struggles with one or more of these things. I know that I have over time when I was married, and then as a single parent too, I didn't have all the information and all the knowledge to make the kind of financial decisions that could really impact and change my future. And so there were times I found myself in these same situations. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't get my slides to move. So most of the middle class and lower class have been left behind when it comes to financial education. Most people believe they can't change their current circumstances because they don't have the money to get started. Our vision or mission is to help middle income families like ourselves create a better life for them and their children. And we actually do this for free. That's right. Our clients never pay us directly for sitting down with them, and there's no minimum requirements to get started on putting together your financial plan. We do two things here. We teach people how money really works, and we give them the tools to create a financial freedom through building and protecting their wealth. And we also help employees transition into entrepreneurship. The truth is, if you're not building your own dreams, you're likely building somebody else's. So the financial industry is almost larger than the next two largest industries combined and then doubled. So that's real estate and retail. And we all know 1 million real estate agents. We know how big that industry has been. We know it grew a lot over this last couple of years. I think in just about every state where I know people, there was a huge boom in real estate, just like there was here in North Texas where I'm at. But we're more than 3 times bigger than real estate itself. If I haven't made it clear yet, we're here to disrupt the financial industry. We're looking for others who are interested and willing to help us do this. So how do we disrupt the biggest industry in the world? Through technology, of course. I'll get into this a little bit more in a few slides. We'll kind of talk about how we're doing that. But let's take a look at this slide and the companies that are listed. First of all, if we look at Uber, they're the largest taxi service, but they own no cars. If we look at Airbnb, they're the largest room booking service, but they own no properties. Netflix is the largest entertainment service, but own no theaters. And here at WealthWave, we're the largest financial education company, but we have no classrooms. We've made it affordable to sit down by not charging our clients to spend time with us and to look at their financial plan for everybody in America to learn about financial concepts that the wealthy use and make a difference in their lives. But we don't have to do that through classrooms anymore. We're doing that through Zoom. We don't have to go to the expense and the overhead of having offices or classrooms that people can come to meet at. Just like Airbnb, Uber, and Netflix, we've taken advantage of utilizing things to build our business without having the same overhead and expense we've had in the past. So if we take a look at this slide, there's currently 333 million Americans. But let's talk about the generations in the workforce today. So baby boomers, there are 70 million baby boomers who are either in retirement today or heading into retirement very soon. The next group is Gen X, that's myself. 64 million of us are just beginning to retire or will be in the next decade or so. Millennials, 72 million. who will start retiring in the next 20 plus years. And Gen Z has a population of 67 million, and they're just beginning to head into the workforce. No one of these generations is saving enough for retirement. If you look at this slide, the average millennial has only $23,000 saved for retirement so far. The good thing is they still have a lot of years ahead of them to save, and they're actually very interested in doing so. Gen Xers have saved approximately $66,000 for retirement, but are either heading into retirement or will be soon. So as you can guess, they need a lot of help to beef up their savings to make sure they can live in retirement the way that they want to. And then baby boomers who are in retirement already are either in retirement already or they can't retire. They've only saved an average of $152,000 for retirement. Many are forced to continue working well into retirement, at least part-time, to make sure that they can make ends meet. So we are a crusade powered by innovation. We're doing things different than they've ever been done before, with a proven model for growth and new standards of communication. We use a digital marketing system to shift and change the way that we look at the financial services that we offer. The average American spends 4 to 8 hours per day on their cell phone. I've got mine right here. So we have to show up where they're at. We utilize social media like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to reach out to them and share information. We issue blogs. YouTube channels have videos and things like that that share financial education as well. We've developed 3 different website platforms where we can communicate with our clients when it comes to the different aspects of what we do. So the first is event funnels. We have a back office system that provides us with things like a funnel system to bring people in who are interested in learning more about what we do and connect them with agents like myself and the person who invited you tonight so that we can help them take the steps they want to moving forward. We offer webinar trainings provided to us by the company that educate on components of how money works, which we offer free to the public. These webinars teach concepts like increasing wealth, protecting your wealth, and passing wealth to future generations. They ensure that our friends and family can make more sound financial decisions as they plan for the future. But there are 2 forces that stand in our way. The first is scarcity of financial education. We just don't do a good job of teaching, even in our homes, the concepts and the skills when it comes to finances to really help somebody to start off strong and build over time heading into retirement. There's a lack of materials and trained educators out there, and there's not enough of us who are trying to share the information to get to everybody that needs it. On average, U.S. adults in 2018 lost $1,230 because they didn't understand basic financial concepts, and 20% lost $2,500 or more. What could $1,200 to $2,500 per year mean to you or your family? Financial literacy is timeless, ageless, and everyone needs it, but few actually have it. Money is still the #1 stress of most Americans. Think about it. How often were you told growing up, we can't afford that, or you'll have to wait until your birthday or Christmas? And not because your parents didn't want you to have it necessarily, or that they were trying to teach you a lesson. It's truly that they couldn't afford to give it to you. I know as a single mom, I had to say no more times than I would have liked to as my son was growing up, as I was shifting between jobs at different times, as I was saving to move into a home and all those different things. With a single income, I didn't have the ability to give my son all of the things I would have liked to. So we have tools that can help families plan for things, provide some of the extras that maybe they'd like to along the way. If you look over this slide, it's likely you're going to recognize at least a couple of the things listed here. But let me ask you, could you actually have a conversation with me regarding 6 or more of the products that are listed here? If not, it's okay. Most Americans couldn't. The truth is, though, we'll need 6 to 8 of these products in our lifetimes to make sure that our financial plans can sustain us and get us to where we need to go. When asked, most people don't even understand how their own 401k actually works. Employers give us the benefit. They say, here you go, sign up for this, put 6% in and we'll match 3%. So we do it. But do we actually understand the inner workings of that plan and how it does or doesn't get us in line for retirement? I can say even with a 20-year career in finance, I didn't understand how my 401k fully worked. I just knew that I put my money there and I could pick like low risk, mid risk, or high risk. And then I just let it go. So we have the opportunity to share more information and help teach you how the different plans that you have work, and also show you things in addition to those that can help make sure you're set up the way you want to be. If you look at the United States as a whole, there's only 21 out of 50 states that require a personal finance class to be taken in high school. We've definitely come a long way when it comes to this. When I was in school, there was no personal finance given. I remember in home ec, I learned how to balance my checkbook. And when I moved out of my parents' house, they said, now make sure you balance your checkbook and you don't get any credit cards. So what did I do? I did not balance my checkbook and I got all the credit cards. So needless to say, in my mid-20s, I was digging myself out of a hole. It was a very valuable lesson to learn, but also a hard lesson to learn, that if I'd had a little more understanding about how money worked, I probably could have avoided a few headaches along the way. With a mission like ours, we need top-notch tools. Unfortunately, we needed an education system that didn't exist, so we created our own. Two of the leaders in our company came together and created a book called How Money Works: Stop Being a Sucker. This book teaches financial concepts in a simple way that anyone from age 15 to 100 can easily understand and implement. If you haven't seen a copy of this book, get with whoever invited you tonight and ask them for a copy. It is free. We will give it to you. You can also order it on Amazon for around $16, but free is better. So just get with them. They can make sure you have a copy. It takes about 45 minutes to read, you guys, and it's amazing information. Like I said earlier, we are on a crusade to change financial literacy. So we're building an army of educators. Yes, an army. We need boots on the ground to help the little guy win against a powerful industry that often puts itself first. Currently, there are approximately 10,000 licensed professionals, and we're building to 100,000 as quickly as possible. The second force standing on our way, believe it or not, is the financial industry itself. They take advantage of the fact that we're uneducated and confused, and they're willing to exploit that. The average American spends more than $5,000 per year on unnecessary items, and over 50% of them have less than $1,000 in savings. The banking industry doesn't want you to know any of this. Why? Why isn't there more information available? Let me ask you this. If you pick up your phone and you go into your banking app, do you have notifications there about products and tools you can use to save more money, to create more wealth for you and your family? My guess is no. My bank has never sent me a notice like that. They'll send me something saying, hey, we're offering a discount on interest rates on our loans or something like that, but they don't actually educate me and teach me how to utilize all of the tools available to me to actually build personal wealth. So how many times a day have you seen this kind of information? Beyond your phone, even on television, on the radio. Very rarely do you come across anything that the banking industry is putting out to actually help you get out of debt and grow wealth. They're usually offering you a way to get further in debt and trying to sugarcoat it, I guess, to make it sound a little nicer than it actually is. So I'm going to show you something the banking industry doesn't want you to know. It's called the Rule of 72. It's a math trick that everyone should know. If you take any interest rate and divide it by 72, that's how long it will take your money to double, either for or against you. So let's take a look at what this means. So the rule of 72, the higher the interest rate, the fewer years it takes your money to double. So let's start at the top of this graph here. If you're getting 1%, which I think some of the top consumer banks out there do offer 1% on their savings account. Unfortunately, mine doesn't. Mine offers 0.01%, and I'll show you an example of that here in a minute. But with 1%, it'll take you 72 years to double. So based on what you have in your savings account today, if it doubles in 72 years, can you live in retirement on that amount of money? I know that I could not, if I did get 1% even. But if you look down towards the bottom at 12%, it takes only 6 years for your money to double. And so with compound interest, the time value of money, utilizing that higher percentage can make a huge difference in your financial picture. So let's take a look at what that would be. So this is Zoe. She's 19 years old. She's actually one of the characters in our How Money Works book. So Zoe's saying, hey, I got $10,000 inheritance. If I wanted to grow it to $1 million by retirement, how many doubles and what interest rate do I need? So if we look to the right on this slide, she needs 9% interest and more than 9% interest and almost 7 doubles to reach $1 million by age 67. So again, as I touched on in the last slide, if she has $10,000 at age 19, in 72 years, well, at 67, she'd have 16,000 because it would take 72 years for it to actually double to 20,000. If she's able to get 9% further towards the right, you can see she gets 6 doubles, and that gets her to $640,000 by age 67. So really close. But if Zoe's able to find a product that will offer her a 12% interest rate, she can actually get 8 doubles by the time she's 67, which means she'll have 2.5, almost $2.6 million waiting there for her in retirement. So let's look now at the average interest rates by bank. Like I said, there's a few consumer banks that offer a full 1%. On this chart, the only one that shows that is Capital One. So if you're with Capital One, congratulations, you get a full percent on your savings account. However, I'm with Wells Fargo and Chase Bank, both of which give me 0.01%. So let's take a look now how long it would take for your money to double if you're with one of these banks. Boom. Bank of America, 0.03%. It's going to take you 2,400 years. For me, with Chase and with Wells Fargo, it's going to take me 7,200 years to double my money. And let's be honest, you guys, Moses didn't even live that long. So I have no hope at 7,200 years if all I do is put my money in savings. Can you actually retire on what would be in your savings account? Likely not. So if we take a look at this slide, there's almost $19 trillion in money market and passbook savings accounts that average less than 1%. So that means your money likely will not double in your own lifetime, possibly not even in your children or grandchildren's either. So let's take a look now a little further at how the rule of 72 impacts our debt. If the average credit card interest rate is 20%, that's a double every 3.6 years. So is it any wonder that people in credit card debt have a difficult time seeing a light at the end of the tunnel or ever thinking that they're going to get out of debt and actually be able to save for their future? Again, like I said, in my 20s, I dug myself into a hole, and it took me quite a bit of time and extra payments to get out from underneath that credit card debt. Again, a difficult lesson to learn, but one I definitely did the hard way. So knowledge is power, especially with money. It's important to know how money works, how money grows, so that you can actually put those things into place when it comes to your finances and create real wealth. The opportunity is there for every American to do and utilize the same things that the wealthy do to create wealth for ourselves. It's just that nobody's telling us that. So it's time for people to learn that they do have options. There's an opportunity to build tax-free income with long-term care and zero market risk. You can grow your money and have it protected from creditors, tax-free to your family when you're gone, and even more. There are so many opportunities for growth potential. It's time to just commit to your financial future. Our How Money Works book was the top selling personal finance book of 2020, 2021, and it's well on its way to hitting that same mark in 2022. We're pretty proud of that fact because it means that we're getting the information out there and people are learning and implementing, practicing these tips, techniques that will help them change their financial future. This book meets 100% of financial literacy criteria. It's engaging. It draws you in as it teaches you. It has discovery, bite-sized content that promotes interaction. It's clear and simple, which means it's easy to understand. It's up to date. The concepts are applicable in today's world. It's honest. It faces reality head on, and it gives you strategies that you can implement step by step and follow a plan that will get you to your financial goals. It includes 7 money milestones. So having a financial education, which we're starting tonight, sharing a little information, getting proper protection, having an emergency fund, debt management, cash flow, building wealth, and protecting wealth. So I like to tell people from A to Z, we cover every aspect of your financial plan and help make sure that you don't have any holes and you're not missing any opportunities. This slide here just shows you an example. It's like a snippet example of the process we take our clients through. We get all the information to understand, number one, what are your goals? Number two, what do you have coming into your home financially? And what responsibilities do you have that are going back out? So your income and expenses, and help you look at what makes the most sense to put in place. What do you already have in place? And how can we fill any gaps that you might have? We are provided by WealthWave with high-tech, high-touch, and high-level systems and support. These resources would be impossible for most entrepreneurs to create and implement early on in their businesses on their own. There is strength in selection. So if you look at this slide here, one size does not fit all, but likely you recognize some of these names like Transamerica, Nationwide, Voya, John Hancock, Franklin Templeton. These are likely companies that you've heard of over the years in the financial industry. We have the ability and the access to over 150 different providers to make sure that we get the best option for you, for your family, and for your specific situation to provide what you need in developing a plan for your financial future. This slide shows you a whole bunch of products, but basically we cover everything from life insurance, annuities, investment options, 401k options, disability, 529 college saving plans. Again, from A to Z, we can cover everything that you might need to meet your financial plan. So what do we do here? We combine two powerful industry models, agent and broker. So I'm going to go over a little bit now on kind of how our agency is structured, or our business is structured, for those of you who might be interested and want more information on possibly dipping your toe in the financial industry with us. So we're structured very much like real estate or a mortgage brokerage. So traditional agency has a firm owner, and then they have agents that work underneath them. So they hire agents to work underneath them. In our model, we have an independent owner or broker, and each person they bring onto their team is also an independent owner. So we have the opportunity to build our own businesses and grow our own team within the teams we already have. We don't have to break off, open our own brick and mortar office and go into a lot of debt starting our businesses. We're able to do that where we're at with phenomenal mentorship and leadership along the way. So I want to show you a little bit about our agent production plan. So this is an example of an agent coming on board who helps one client a month, can expect $1,200 per month in income or $15,000 a year. This is the level I came on board. Like I said, I started my business part-time, and I thought, wow, I could make an additional $15,000 to $16,000 a year part-time just helping one family a month. A director level who helps 2 clients a month is bringing in close to $4,000 a month in income, or $44,000 per year. And a broker who helps 4 clients a month can expect to bring in almost $10,000 a month, or $115,000 a year. So that can probably replace a significant portion of those of you on this call, your current income at your job, I would expect. So the brokerage production plan. So a broker with an agency. So they're a broker with a spread on 3 agents. So you have a team of 3 agents and you're helping 1 client a week. So that's a total of 12 clients helped in a month. Let me step back and go through that again. I feel like that was a little confusing. So if I'm a broker and I have 3 agents and we each help 1 client a week, that's 12 clients a month, producing $13,000 a month in income and an annual income of $160,000. So definitely you can see as you build a team and build a brokerage here, there's exponential room for growth in income. So some of the financial tools that we use, we have wills, trusts, medical powers of attorney, student debt elimination, life insurance, health insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, mutual funds, 529 plans, actively managed accounts, and a few others I didn't touch on here. Again, A to Z, everything you could need for your financial plan. So let's talk about some of the statistics. The average age of an agent today is 59 years old. And there are 410,000 almost life agents in the United States, 311,000 financial advisors, but 2 million real estate agents. And we actually lose 6,000 agents a year. So you can see how important it is for us to continually build and grow that army to get with average Americans like ourselves to make sure that they understand the tools that are available to them. So let's take a look at what it would cost. Oh, I'm 1 slide ahead of myself, sorry. Let's take a look at population of major cities in Texas. So I'm in Texas, I'm in DFW, so you can see there's 10,140 agents in DFW for a population of 7.5 million people. We would have to sit down with, well, I can't do the math that fast, but a whole lot of people every single day to be able to reach all those people. So we definitely need more people out there meeting with families and sharing the information and education that we have to change their lives. You can look here, San Antonio has 3,500 agents with a population of 2.5 million. So you can look up these same numbers in whatever state you live in. But if you look in comparison, all total for Texas, we have almost 32,000 life agents and there are 134,000 realtors. I know personally, oh my goodness, I have in my phone probably the phone number of 12 to 15 realtors that I run into all the time, that I talk to all the time. And over the last 2 years with the real estate market, I think more people than ever were going into the real estate industry. And now there's some things changing there. So we need that kind of volume in our industry to make the same kind of impact on American families. So now let's jump into what does it cost to get licensed in Texas? The total cost for your first professional license is $300. We have a fast start bonus program that helps you get started and helps you reach your first promotion as quickly as possible. So your goal is to get life and health license. You're going to complete your own financial needs analysis so you understand the process that we take our clients through. We help you put together a business plan and complete your first 3 client appointments to get certified with a certified field trainer to get and pass your training and help you close 5,000 points in the system. We also help you during this time to onboard 3 new business partners. Once you complete this, we call it 3-3-30. So you close 3 pieces of business and bring on 3 team members in your first 30 days, and you receive a $350 bonus plus dinner with your leadership and your first promotion to associate contract. So you actually are going to get more back than it cost you to get licensed and start your business to begin with. We have offices and leaders in all 50 states and Puerto Rico, and we're also in Canada. Here at WealthWave, we have no boss, no salary caps, no required work hours, no layoffs, and no limits. And I'm going to take just a second here to tell you a little bit more about my current story. Like I said, I was looking for an opportunity to have more freedom and more flexibility to spend time with my son. He's in the military. I want to be able to go wherever he may be in the world and visit him and see him without having to run out of vacation. And on top of that, my parents are getting older, and I wanted to be prepared to help care care for them someday. So pardon me, I know I'm going to get a little bit emotional here. We never know when someday comes. And in May, I went to a doctor's appointment for my mom, and the doctor told us that my parents could no longer live in their house. In the last 4 months, you guys, I've been back and forth to Salt Lake City, Utah 4 or 5 times to help prepare my parents to move, do an estate sale, get their house on the market. And then now I've brought them back to Texas to actually live with me, hopefully for a year or so. And so my someday of what I wanted to be able to do and have the freedom to do is here today, unexpectedly. And if I still worked in corporate America, I would have easily burned all my vacation right now. My job might be on the line, or I might be forced to apply for FMLA to be able to care for my parents. But instead, I didn't have to bat an eye at making those decisions, at taking that time. I can work from anywhere. So every time I was in Salt Lake, I was able to meet with clients and still keep my business running while showing up for my parents where they needed me most. In my opinion, there's no more important thing to being able to be there for your family when they need you. And this business has definitely given me that. So there's 3 ways to succeed with WealthWave. Number 1, become a client. Grow your knowledge, utilize our strategies, create security for your family, start building wealth, and put together an overall financial plan. Or you can begin part-time like I did. Become a licensed professional, start serving clients, grow as a leader, choose when and where you work, and assemble a successful team along the way. And then you build to full-time. You focus 100% on your business, scale a team within our platform, avoid traditional model limits, pursue a variety of incentives, and create a real legacy for your family. Wherever you're at, get with the person who invited you tonight to get started. This is our legal slide, the fine print. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. It doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and close things out. I appreciate the opportunity to share some information with you tonight. I hope and pray that I shared a little something with you that maybe you didn't know before, or elaborated on something that you might have been curious about. But first and foremost, I hope that you take the time to sit down and really take a look at your financial plan and see if there's some way that the person who invited you here can help you. We're willing to answer any questions. You're welcome to reach out to myself as well, and we'll get you whatever information we can. Thanks for joining us tonight. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you again soon.